Hoy voy a estar reaccionando a este video de Stephan Graham que se llama Viviendo en un auto para ahorrar dinero, tacaños extremos. Como yo me considero una persona que no gasta mucho, quiero saber hasta qué punto este video me parece realista o no y hasta qué punto yo también llegaría. Y siendo realista, Stephan Graham tiene un punto de vista bastante parecido al mío en el tema de los gastos, así que vamos a ello. Ahora sí, antes de empezar les quería aclarar que los videos de Stephan Graham son en inglés. Lo que voy a hacer es poner subtítulos autogenerados en español para los que no saben inglés los puedan entender, y de paso yo voy a hacer los comentarios en español, así que vamos a ello.
Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So we all know how insanely expensive housing has gotten lately.
Interest rates hit their highest level in more than 2 decades.
Este punto de las casas, cabe aclarar que no es solo en Estados Unidos. Los videos de Stephan Graham son mayormente en Estados Unidos, pero en Canadá y en otros lugares del mundo también ha afectado muchísimo. Así que sí es cierto, e incluso en Canadá.
The cost of property is through the roof, and this guy has found a solution by living in his car. And today he's gonna...
Ahora, ¿eso significa que viviría en mi auto para evitar pagar una casa? No sé, para mí sería un poco mucho.
tell us exactly how he was able to do this, how much money he's saving, and you know what? Maybe more people could do exactly this to save a lot of money. So with that said, guys, make sure to
Más
do your
gente
part
lo
to
podría
hit the
hacer,
like
realmente
button,
no lo sé.
subscribe if you haven't done that already, and now with that said, let's begin.
So I'm going to teach you how to stealth camp in any city, in any vehicle.
I thought he said self-camp.
A stealth camp?
Like, we're gonna be self-camping, stealth. Like, as in, no one knows you're camping in your car. But I have to
Pero, o sea, igual, o sea, aunque nadie sepa que estás acampando en tu auto, es como, estás viviendo en tu auto. No sé.
say, like, half the time you kind of know because all the windows are blacked out. You see curtains over everything, and you see one of those sun shields in the front, so, like, you can't see in at all. Anytime I see that, I'm either assuming, like, hey, someone got kidnapped or, like, someone's sleeping in the car. I never would assume that, yeah, there's no one in that car. Kind of obvious, but at least you don't see anything, so, yeah, I guess it's pretty stealth.
You can not only save money by not paying rent, you can even find a better paying job by living in your car.
Para. Me estás diciendo que, o sea, no solamente ahorras dinero, sino que vas a encontrar un empleo mejor pago por vivir en tu auto. Eso ya es otro nivel, ¿eh? Tener un empleo mejor pago por vivir en tu auto.
By the end of this video, you'll have an understanding of what this lifestyle can look like for you. So, let's get started.
Why does it sound oddly appealing to me?
Save money.
I don't know what it is. Something about just being completely free, being able to park anywhere, not having a housing payment, not having any property taxes, not having insanely expensive housing insurance, not having to call repair people. Like, there's very little that could go wrong in the car besides the engine, tires.
Sí, pero a la vez no, o sea, no es que nada puede salir mal. O sea, a lo que voy, está bien, no tenés una casa, pero ¿por qué tenés que vivir en un auto? ¿No podría ser un camper mejor? O sea, termina siendo más caro, más grande, pero un poco más de comodidades. Miremos el aspecto general de cómo sería vivir en esto. O sea, tenés literalmente nada de espacio. Y vivís allá adentro. Y trabajás encima allá adentro.
Yeah, stuff like that. This sounds just more people maybe should be doing this. I don't know. Maybe a lot of people do. I'm not as familiar with this. I've always wanted to do van life, though. So one day, guys, one day I'll love to do that and just travel for a year.
Moving anywhere that's accessible by car no longer requires looking for housing, signing a lease, packing all my belongings, or dealing with housemates. I just pick a city and start driving. With the stealth camping setup, you can do that too.
Why does it sound, again, it's so nice. But the thing is, it's a very specific type of person who's able to do this.
Exacto.
Chances are, probably someone single who has a lot of job mobility without any kids. A pet would probably be, you know,
no podés
what
casi
can you
tener una
have, a
mascota.
leopard gecko? Even then, like, how do you make sure the cage stays
gecko.
warm enough throughout the day or doesn't overheat?
No, hay muchos puntos negativos. Si bien te podés mover muchísimo y puede ser más barato por un punto, en definitiva terminas comiendo afuera siempre. O sea, creo que eso es un punto a tener en cuenta. No podés cocinarte si tenés solamente el auto. Después sería el parking que tenés que pagar en determinados lugares, aunque podés conseguir parking por gratis. No sé. Internet móvil. Se podría usar el internet del celular, creo yo también, ¿no? O sea, o algún tipo de internet como satelital.
Too, when the car is parked there. For a certain type of person, this could actually probably work really well.
As long as you can figure out a way to create a comfortable bed in your car and feel safe sleeping in it at night, you have a car worthy of stealth camping in.
Bueno.
Here are some tips on how to make any vehicle more stealthy. The first one is window tint.
Yeah, what did I tell
Okay.
you guys? Just 5% limousine tint all the way around. You want it so that someone has to like come up and like stare in the car through the window to see if there's anybody inside, at which point they're probably casing it to rob or something like that. But yeah, the window tint, the curtains, get rid of the windows entirely.
If I was stealth camping in a passenger vehicle like the CRV, I would completely black out the back windows with 5% limo tint and
Wow.
20 to 35% tint on the front windows.
5%.
Yeah, until all of a sudden
no ves
you get
nada
pulled
adentro.
over by the police, they give you a window tint ticket and ask you to remove it, and you either pay a big fine or you have to remove it and put it back on. California is very strict about that sort of stuff.
Sí, el tema del tinte en los vidrios, no solo en Estados Unidos, yo en la Argentina también escuché que no podés poner un tinte muy fuerte en los vidrios. Hay gente que incluso lo ponía antes en el vidrio de adelante y no se veía casi nada al interior, pero se han vuelto muy estrictos no solamente en Estados Unidos, en Argentina también. Ahora, en el tema de Canadá, no sé qué tanto será, pero estoy seguro que fácil no debe ser.
So you could probably get away with 35% on the front, 20%, you know, they could probably pull you over for that. Anything on the windshield below 80%, they tend to notice it, they'll pull you over for that. Ask me how I know, because I love 20% window tint with 50% on the front. So, you know
50%
what?
on the front,
the cost
okay.
of doing business in California, but Nevada, everyone seems to do it.
My next tip is to add dark colored
Oh
curtains
my.
behind your driver and front passenger seat. The combination of blackout tint and curtains will create complete privacy in the back space of your vehicle.
Wow, that's actually really clever to put the
Eso
curtains
está
because,
interesante.
you know, if you do 5% tint on the back, you can still kind of see in the front through the windshield. The light that comes in there illuminates the back, but putting those curtains up, it would be impossible to see.
These deflectors are great because they allow you to keep your windows open even when it's raining or snowing.
Ok.
And most importantly, they hide the fact that your windows are cracked open.
That's actually really clever. I
Eso está
never
bueno,
even
sí.
thought about that before. That's a great idea.
There's really no limit to where you can find parking in a city. It could be in a commercial zone, residential, or anything in between. The goal is to find a spot where people pay little attention to your vehicle or just don't care if you're sleeping in your car. Here's a
Buen
couple
punto.
tips you can follow.
Basically, just go to Venice Beach. That's pretty much it. Other cities like Santa Monica, very strict about overnight parking, and most places now have permit parking.
Ese es otro tema. El tema es que no todos los lugares se puede dormir en el auto. Al menos creo, en Argentina creo que no habría tanto problema, creo. Pero el tema de aquí en Canadá y en Estados Unidos, sé que si ven algo sospechoso, si ven que hay alguien durmiendo en el auto, lo que fuera, te van a ir a tocar la puerta, te van a molestar y te van a decir que no se puede hacer en la mayoría de los lugares. Así que un punto a tener en cuenta. Y si no, incluso te pueden llegar a poner multas. O te levantan y te dicen que te vayas, que te muevas, que no puedes estar ahí, o te ponen multas, o...
During certain hours, so you can't leave it overnight. They're cracking down on it, but the city of Los Angeles, for the most part, or anywhere near the beach, tends to be a lot more lenient.
It's possible to park in quiet neighborhoods, but you want to avoid parking directly in front of a house. Instead, park next to an open area or non-residential structure like churches or public buildings.
Doesn't that look a little creepy, though? Like,
Exacto, eso es lo que iba a decir. Eso es muy raro. O sea, parece un poco creepy. O sea, estacionar una van blanca sola enfrente de una iglesia o un lugar no residencial. Medio raro. ¿Te imaginas una van blanca enfrente de una iglesia toda la noche?
like all of a sudden there's a blacked out van just like parked right near a public park. To me, that would be like a little sketchy,
Exacto.
especially if it's the only car out there.
When I was living in San Francisco in my van, I eventually found the perfect parking spot. Every morning, I would get up, get dressed, exit through the driver's side door,
Casi
then
que no
walk 2
tiene
minutes
lugar.
to the gym where I worked out and showered. Walk back to my van, change my clothes, then walk 5 minutes to the train station.
Punto interesante que marcó ahí, se baña en los gimnasios. Los gimnasios aquí son muy baratos. Acá en Canadá tenés un gimnasio que vale $10 el mes y por $10 podés ir al gimnasio, podés usar todas las cosas del gimnasio, pero además podés ducharte. Tenés incluso sillas de masajes y salas de bronceado, todo por $10 al mes. Creo que es súper interesante y vale mucho la pena, o sea, pagás nada.
To commute to work.
Wow. See, again, that seems pretty nice to park near a gym because, yeah, I think that would be pretty much essential if you need a shower. Plus, it's a great way to exercise. I like that a lot.
En la Argentina eso casi que no lo podés hacer, o sea que hay muy pocos gimnasios que conozco, o sea, al menos en la zona donde yo vivía, que primero sean baratos y segundo tengan duchas abiertas para los inscriptos y como que estén como bien completos, o sea, hay muy pocos.
Ideal parking spot is where you can safely park your car every night and have everything within walking distance or a short commute away.
Yeah, just basically look at 24-hour fitnesses and then just decide to park around one of those within like a half a mile distance.
Food costs will likely become your biggest expense. Not having access to a kitchen while living in an expensive city will make it challenging to keep food costs down.
Ahí está el tema que yo remarcaba, que si vas a vivir en un auto, no vas a poder cocinar. O sea que no vas a tener acceso a una cocina. Y al no tener acceso a una cocina, todo va a salir mucho más caro. Vas a tener que comer afuera todos los días.
When I was living in San Francisco, I was eating out for all my meals, and I was spending between $800 to $1,000 every month on just food.
Entre 800 y 1000 solo en comida. Es básicamente lo que te ahorras en comida, lo puedes pagar en una casa. O sea, podrías tranquilamente gastar 400, 600 dólares en comida y poner los otros 600 en una habitación por ahí.
Wow. I mean, here's the thing. It's like you could probably get that down to $300 a month if you're cooking at home. So that's like a $700 a month difference that you could be putting towards rent or just having a place that you share with
Es lo que acabo de
roommates.
decir.
Intermittent fasting is a great solution. I eat one big meal a day, and that cuts my food costs roughly in half. There's also many studies about the health benefits of fasting. However you do it,
Fasting, ayuno, o sea, está bien que sea positivo, pero lo estás planteando como estilo de vida.
managing the cost of food will be a huge way of reducing your monthly expense.
You know what chances are, though, if you have an office job where you could just keep food in the refrigerator,
Okay.
that would probably be a great solution to that because then you could keep your food there, go and eat at work, you could go and buy your groceries, do stuff like this, use their microwave, and then you go back. But at night, you know...
Pero, a ver, buen punto sí si tenés una oficina, pero si tenés un trabajo de oficina, tenés una heladera, ya estás teniendo un lugar en donde estás como attached, en donde estás agarrado, o sea, ya no podés viajar tanto como lo harías normalmente, o sea, para algo tenés un estilo de vida en auto, ¿no? Para poder moverte, o sea que, ¿perdés libertad?
Maybe you just take food from the office. Might not be so bad.
You might want to consider looking in dense or affluent cities because the wages in those communities are typically higher. For example, the minimum wage in San Francisco is always a few dollars more than the state average. So working in San Francisco would guarantee a higher wage than other parts of California. And because you're reducing your overall expense by eliminating rent, you get to benefit more from that wage increase. And
Tenés un beneficio en el aumento salarial, pero a la vez el estilo de vida es más caro. O sea que para ir a ese gimnasio donde te vas a duchar vas a pagar más caro. Para comer afuera todos los días como lo estás haciendo vas a pagar más caro. Desayuno, almuerzo, cena o las comidas que sean necesarias. Y cada cosa que necesites, incluso un vaso de agua, estamos planteando que te va a salir más caro. O sea, tenés un aumento salarial y un aumento de gastos.
pocket more money.
Yeah, I could see that. It works in the bigger cities where the benefit is greater by not paying housing. But in a
Otro punto interesante, en las ciudades grandes el parking es pago en la mayoría de los lugares. Punto. Negativo.
lot of cities where housing is actually pretty reasonable, this would just be a massive inconvenience. It seems to work in big cities, though.
The climate is especially mild along the California coast, where many homes within a mile or two from the beach don't even have air conditioning. No matter where you live in your car, you'll have to face extreme temperatures, so knowing how to handle them is necessary.
Yeah, especially in your car. I mean, my gosh. If it's 80 degrees outside, it's probably 120 degrees in your car.
Sí,
and then
se
at
pone
night,
muy
it gets so
caluroso.
freezing cold in there, and it takes a while to warm up. So that would be probably my biggest consideration is how do you keep the car cool, and then how do you stay warm with like bundled up with blankets if it's ever like, you know, freezing outside?
In the winters, I've slept through some chilly nights, with the coldest night I've slept through being 38 degrees Fahrenheit. There are also
Vamos a ver. 3 grados Celsius. 3 grados pasó la noche. Está frío.
been weeks where it's consistently in the low 40s. I can use a
5
propane
grados
heater, but
centígrados.
it's too much of a hassle to store, and I'd have to spend money on propane.
Yeah, this seems kind of dangerous, though, to put a big heater like that in your car. Like, if anything were to happen with gases or...
Buen punto. O sea, no tenés ni casi ventilación. Eso está en tu cabeza, literal.
fumes or just like anything goes up in flames, I don't know if I could sleep at night with that.
Long-term car camping can be mentally exhausting because of the lack of a secure home base. But having a routine centered around spaces outside of your vehicle will provide the stability that will make this lifestyle sustainable.
He's got a great closet space, though. Like, you would have no idea. He's so clean cut. He's got a great wardrobe of clothes. He goes to the gym on a regular basis. Like, you would have no idea. He's saving a ton of money. I'm curious how long this is sustainable for. Like, could you do this for a year, 5 years, 10 years?
No.
I don't know. He's not talking about dating, though. That's what I'm curious about.
Empezás a salir con alguien. ¿Querés venir a mi casa? Bueno, este es mi auto y ya llegamos a mi casa. No.
Like, hey, you know, have a great day. Come back to my van. It's parked by the public park over here by the school, and then run away. But yeah,
No,
After work, I would go
definitivamente.
to the same coffee shop that stayed open late. I had friends that worked at this coffee shop, so I would see them whenever they were on shift. And eventually, I knew the names of all the baristas and had friendly interactions with them every time I saw them.
Ok. Un estilo
I
de
had a
vida
group
social
of people
interesante.
that knew my situation, and some offered me a place to park my van, and even a room if I ever needed it.
Oh, that's nice. See, it just goes to show you, if you're friendly, you're outgoing, just make nice conversations with people. Like, everyone just tends to want to help each other out.
O sea, sí, es un estilo de vida en el que en realidad tenés muchas, o sea, tenés posibilidades de justamente salir y buscar a gente porque no te queda mucha opción, o sea, no vas a estar mucho tiempo dentro de tu auto porque no tenés lugar, o sea que es salir o salir.
I've shared with you what van life looks like for me.
Great editing. I love that style of him just kind of looking around while all of a sudden he starts talking. That's fantastic.
The beauty in this lifestyle is that it's so flexible. You get to shape and mold it in a way that will help you achieve what you want. You won't fully know unless you go try it out. Whatever you decide to do, I hope you find the best path forward.
I love the video. See, it makes me want to do this for like a week or two and just go and travel and live in the back of a van. I don't know if I could do something in that size, maybe something a little bit bigger, but I have the feeling
Ok,
this is-
algo más grande, o sea, ya estamos hablando de una van, claramente. Yo digo, si es para 1 o 2 semanas y me dan algo así, por ahí sí acepto. Pero en un auto, yo creo que no.
Just as housing prices are kind of wonky right now, a lot of people believe the market's going down. They're holding off from buying. So something like this.
Sí, pero creo que estamos hablando de unas 650.000 libras y yo lo quiero hacer a ese estilo. Así que mejor me voy por una casa. En vez de 650.000 libras en una van, me compro una casa.
In a big city where incomes are high, where they could save a lot of money. It's a fantastic solution, and if the city's not going to build more homes, at least take matters into your own hands and live in a van, go to the gym, have complete freedom. Overall, seems pretty nice. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, feel free to add me on Instagram.
Bueno, ¿qué les pareció? O sea, después de ver esto, ¿ustedes se mudarían en un auto? ¿No se mudarían? Yo realmente, según lo que veo, la verdad que lo veo súper complicado y no me parece una opción cómoda para nada. Tampoco realmente estás ahorrando como esperarías que ahorres en el tema de no tener un lugar para cocinar. Gastas mucho más en comida excesivo. O sea que no le veo sentido. Pero bueno, por ahí algunas personas sí. Así que, ¿qué les pareció el video? Si les gustó, no se olviden de dejar like y suscribirse que me ayuda un montón. Nos vemos en el próximo video.